the Romex needed to be replaced, ripped out and replaced.
Yes.
Is that only because it is exposed now and that's what you would do? That's not a result of the flooding, is that right?
It is, because Romex is not wet rated. Once
Okay.
it is wet, you could either have it recertified to be used again, or it is actually
Okay.
less expensive to remove it and replace it. But
Okay.
once Romex does get wet, the insulation inside of it
Got it.
becomes compromised, and you're no longer allowed to use it.
Got it, thank you.
No problem.
Thank
May
you.
I just clarify with him, the walls are all exposed,
Correct.
Yeah,
and the holes are already drilled for the running of the wire.
Correct.
it's just ripping it out, I get that. I get it, yep.
And in fact, the wire's already been ripped out.
Correct.
So
The
you're
wire
just,
has already been done.
you were literally just spooling the wire through.
Correct.
So not time intensive,
No.
not labor intensive,
No.
and other than the cost of new wires.
Correct.
And that was taken into account in your scope of work.
Correct.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The HVAC, you're gonna install that above the floodplain?
Yes.
Like the-
The
this-
nice thing about mini splits is they can be installed on the
High.
exterior of the home, elevated above the floodplain, including all electrical, mechanicals. Yes, sir. That is the intention.
Any other questions at this time? Okay. Does the township have any questions at this time, before I ask for the audience?
I don't have any further questions for the witnesses.
Okay. Okay, are there any folks that have stayed here this evening that would like to ask questions or testify? Very good. Okay, Mr. Duffy, what else do you have before we do housekeeping?
I would just move for the submission of my exhibits, 1 through 9.
The township is going to object to the admission of Exhibit 2, which is the appraisal report. The expert did not come in to testify, and that is hearsay.
Okay, I'm going to sustain that objection. It's
Can I-
consistent with the last presentation we did, or the
I
last.
have No objection to the remainder of the exhibits.
Okay.
The township will, I do have a motion to make now that Mr. Duffy has rested his case, which I believe he has. And so I would move for a directed verdict or a judgment that denies the application in its entirety. The burden of proof is on the applicant to prove that the fair market value of the structure prior to the flood was less than 50% of the, or I'm sorry, that the cost to repair the structure was less than 50% of the value of the pre-market value of the structure. All of the testimony was with regard to the value of the property. The land values cannot be taken into account. Mr. Duffy failed to present any evidence of the value of the structure. He has failed to sustain his burden on both the zoning interpretation question and the variance question, and therefore I would move that his, both matters be denied in their entirety.
Understand, Mr. Duffy, you have any comment on that?
Certainly, we gave, presented testimony as to the fair market value of the building, the structure. And, you know, if we weren't clear, that certainly doesn't cover the land in terms of the definition. The land itself is basically a movie lot. There's actually 2 parcels there, and the parcel that the building is on is the width of the house. So we presented testimony that the pre-flood value of the house is $216,000, and that the cost to repair was $27,700. That's 12.8%. So we are certainly well below the 50%, even if you want to take out some value of the land itself. The land itself, being in a floodplain, being the fact that you can't have new construction on it, being that the terms are very limited, as this board very well knows that you can't really do anything with that land. There's been 2 properties right next to it that have been demolished. The value of the land is de minimis without the actual building. So the building itself is $200,000 at a minimum, and then the repairs are $27,000. We're talking 12%. We've met our threshold burden.
And with all due respect to Mr. Duffy, his statement that he thinks the building is worth $200,000 is completely irrelevant. The witness was asked repeatedly over my objection how much she would list the property for. That's the opinion that was given. There was no evidence given as to the value of the land versus the structure that was on the land, other than Mr. Duffy's self-serving statements in response to my motion. They have utterly failed to sustain their burden.
So with that, if do you have any closing remarks, or? Or
The
you done?
town, if my motion is not going to be sustained, then the township does have evidence that it would like to present.
Okay.
But there was expert testimony that we were not aware of that came into tonight. So I would respectfully request that the zoning hearing board, if my motion is going to be denied, that the matter be continued to next month for the presentation of the
Okay.
township's evidence.
I was going to deny the motion because, I want to talk with the board, and that's going to be part of our decision, whether or not we believe that we were given enough information to make a determination on substantial improvement. So that was the crux of it, and that's up to us to decide. So we're ready to have that discussion, but if you want to present more evidence, then feel free.
The township would ask that the matter be continued to September. The municipality's planning code does allow the township to continue at a later date, given the presentation of evidence this evening.
Okay.
May I just ask for an offer of proof of what the township, who or what testimony the township plans on introducing at the
Sure.
next meeting?
The township, again, there was experts offered tonight that we weren't made aware of until we walked in here this evening, or to Mr. Duffy presented them. I need to review with my witnesses to see whether or not there are, the township would like to offer rebuttal. If the township may decide to offer its own appraisal report, it may decide to offer its own structural report. Again, that's not something that I'm,
Okay, can I just ask, wasn't this before the board last month, and the township and Mr. Duffy were supposed to talk? Didn't you guys do that?
we were not able to arrange a meeting, no.
The meeting was canceled by the township, and they told me they'd get new dates, they never reached back out.
So we basically kind of wasted the night because you didn't have the meeting that we were supposed to have, right? Really, right?
There were circumstances that came up that prevented the meeting from occurring.
Why didn't we just continue it at the start of the meeting? It's 11:30, right? I just feel like we just wasted an hour of everybody's time. Okay, we okay with continuing? Okay, we'll continue it to the next month. Okay, and please, one month, that's all. Then if you don't,
Understood,
okay, we're gonna rule on it.
understood.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we have one more hearing. We're gonna do it because y'all stayed here the whole night, even though, well, maybe.
I want to thank the board.
Thank you. Okay, so we have the final hearing. I'm gonna ask Rusty to read that. Thank you.
Hearing number 6, Z-25-17, Daniel and Patricia Tabar, 3987 Yerkes Road, Collegeville, PA 19426. The applicant is proposing to install a 36-foot by 28-foot three-stall garage and floodgates. The applicant seeks relief from section 143-188.a regarding non-conforming structures in the floodplain, together with any other relief deemed necessary or appropriate by the board. The parcel ID of subject property is 43-00-16532-00-3. Subject property is located at 4015 Yerkes Road and is in the R3 Residential Zoning District.
Okay, thank you. And typically when, you're not represented by counsel, right?
Correct.
So typically when that's the case, we ask our code enforcement officer, Mike Mrozinski, to just give us an intro about the project.
If I might defer to the applicant, just because I'm not quite familiar with this one, as the assistant zoning officer, I believe, reviewed this, and I believe the applicant, Ms. Tabor, can probably describe it better than I.
You comfortable with that?
Sure, yeah. So, actually, and I did,
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
sorry.
Thank you. Can we swear you in?
I do. Sure, Patricia Tabor, Tabor. Okay, so, actually, as we sit here, we're just gonna go through the process anyway, but it occurred to me, that we may not actually need a variance, and maybe you can weigh in on that, because my understanding now is that needing a variance would be asking that we don't have to do something that maybe is required to do, right? So we want to build the garage, and my understanding is that in order to do that, to enlarge any structure that is within a floodplain, we have to offset, we have to do something to offset the impact of the additional space taking up the floodplain. And so with that, we actually intend to do that. And we intend to do that by removing the an equal amount of fill somewhere on the property, right, to offset the impact of, I don't have the exact measurements. I mean, it's something that has to be determined by, by the engineer or whatever have you, how much the space of the wall and, the walls and the sheathing and whatnot would take up. But we certainly intend to do that anyway. And just the addition of the floodgates also offsets any potential of flood vents, that allow water to, to flow in and out, as it would. So it equalizes everything. As I stand here, I don't know if I actually need a variance, but nor do I want to leave here and have wasted $800 and have to come out and come back again, should, that be determined.
Okay.
So,
Do you have anyone else that you would like to add anything to your description?
would you like to add anything?
You don't have to.
That's the man with the plan. Builder, owner,
Okay,
yeah.
I'm gonna, yep.
Sure.
Yes. Daniel Tabor, Tabor. Yeah, basically what Patty's saying, we're gonna, like when we dig the footers, we're gonna remove dirt from the property, out of there. And whatever we have to fill in around there, we can pick up, fill from the property in the floodplain, and basically that's it.
So, and you'll get permits to do that?
Yes.
So how will you determine how much, fill you need to remove and who approves that?
We probably have to get our engineer out there just to say, hey, you're gonna have to draw this much out of here, you know what I mean, to
To
fill
offset.
in where we need, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, it's and it's not a whole lot, because it's basically where it's going, it's just about flat, so it's not like it's a big impact on it. And I just brought up the flood vents, because I don't know if you guys are familiar with them,
Yeah.
they were used a lot.
I have
on
one.
Shore and
Right,
stuff,
yep.
right?
Yep.
So when the water comes up, it opens up and lets the water come into the area.
Correct.
And then when it goes back down, it flips the other way and it goes back out and it's gone, you know what I mean? That's just this way, the whole big garage isn't taken up like if it's one big solid block, right? The water still flows in. And where the garage is going, it hardly ever floods anyway, but
Yeah.
in case it does.
But our engineer was the one that explained that to us, how you go about offsetting the impact
Right.
of that, which is why, like I said, as we stand here, I'm like, well, we are gonna do that, so, if you just wanna make it a requirement by giving us a variance, I guess, I'm not sure, whatever we need to do.
We'll take care of that and it's not a problem,
So you guys owned the house before the last flood, right?
Yes,
You've been the owner since the flood,
Yeah.
all that, right?
yes,
Whatever, the garage isn't gonna be more than 50% of the value of the home, right?
No.
no,
Okay.
yeah, no.
Is the floor level gonna be a little higher? The floor level of the garage, is it gonna be, is that higher, or is that,
No, that's,
No,
it's the same level as that first floor of
No.
the building?
it's down.
Oh, it's,
like ground level,
I don't know if there's another picture up there.
because you have, next to, you have that door that goes down into the
Yeah.
lower level. It's not there.
That's the basement.
Yeah, this is above that? Because that's where,
Yeah, it's gonna be way
that,
above that.
that door is shown there. Is that the door going to the
Yeah,
basement?
but, so, this is my drawing, it's not.
It's great.
So,
I love the
yeah,
drawing.
Yeah, but this door, like, this floor is actually up here compared to that floor. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And then this is the main floor, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And so the garage doors are
Yeah.
level with the road, basically.
pretty
Okay,
much,
gotcha.
Yes.
essentially.
Except, that kinda goes up there.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
have walked, ran by there before. I know.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
And you're providing those gates on the walls all around that, so. 'cause-
on the solid sidewall.
Well, you're showing something below. You're putting a lower level on, or you're
No.
doing a crawl space or something?
No, no.
Because I wasn't sure your drawing, like, how you. I love the drawing.
You just talking to the mic,
here.
please.
Yeah. I didn't understand, like,
You
what,
can explain it up
Yeah.
there, if you want to explain it.
yeah, what, it looked like a crawl space.
basically, this.
Just grab, I'm sorry. Can you just grab the mic? Just grab,
Hey, Dan, take mic.
It's late.
it is late.
It's about
It's not gonna work.
it's about 3 hours past milk and cookies. That's all I can say about that.
So you're putting the foundation below, and then you're gonna fill that solid and put the floor on top
Okay,
of
can you
that?
hear me now? All right. So anyway, this is the slab for the garage floor, okay? And these are concrete walls coming up. We're gonna leave the concrete walls up higher, so, if the water does come up, it doesn't affect the wood.
Yeah.
And this is just kind of showing the footer, how it goes all the way around.
All right, yeah,
It's
so-
my
okay,
little
yeah.
three-dimensional
So that
picture.
yeah.
Except it's
Now I know
not.
what you're doing.
I just
It looked
built
like, it looked like a
I'm not an
crawl
architect,
space,
but-
and you're spanning. I'm like, that's gonna be a pretty heavy duty floor. You're gonna have up in the air.
But, it's just kind of like,
Nice.
Okay.
He's just showing his footers, basically.
So,
Now I got it.
just one question, Mike. Does any of this, this is all from a conformance standpoint with floodplain? It's as you stated in the agenda. It's just whether or not they're complying with the one section regarding
what is it? the one-
enlarging the properties, right?
Yeah, I
I
believe,
actually have it, Mike. I have it now. I pulled it up.
okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
I think that, basically the bigger concern is, well, we understand the details a little bit better in terms of the flood proofing. So what the Tabors intend to do in terms of the flood vents and such. I think that we would also want to, before any permits were issued, have the Tabors produce a site plan from an engineered site plan showing the fill that would be mitigating for the structure, and have that reviewed and approved by the township engineer, and just so that like the amount of fill is adequate to mitigate, so to speak.
Right. So per my first question, then, basically. Yeah.
Yeah,
And you would agree to that?
Yeah.
of course.
Yep.
All right. Is there anyone here in the audience that would like to ask questions or testify? Okay. In the interest of time, Hetty, can we do our
Yes.
housekeeping before we go back and? Oh, we don't. We
Okay,
need to go
to-
back?
To admit into evidence, application, sorry, the board admits into application and marking as A1 applicant's application, followed by the certificate of posting as A2, certificate of notification as A3, letter to residents as A4, and the mailing matrix as A5. And the floor plan as A6.
One sec, just give us 1 second.
That's okay. I'm here now. I'm in for the long haul. It's okay.
Okay,
Granted.
I'm going to make this motion. Okay, so I'd like to propose the following motion. The application of Daniel and Patricia Tabor, 3987 Yerkes Road, Collegeville, Pennsylvania, 19426, docket number Z-25-17, from section 143-188A of the Lower Providence Township zoning ordinance to permit the installation of a 36 by 28-foot three-stall garage and floodgates in the R3 residential zoning district is granted, subject to the following conditions. Consistent with other applicable regulations, construction, placement, and design shall be as per the application testimony, plans, and exhibits introduced into evidence in this case. And number two, that the removal of necessary fill to offset the renovation details will be submitted for approval to the Lower Providence Township engineer. All those, or can I have a second to the motion?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approved. Thank you. Really appreciate
so
you hanging
much.
in there tonight, and good luck with your project.
You too.
And with that,
Appreciate you hanging in there.
sorry, I'm like, what?
Motion to adjourn.
Next meeting's in September.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
I guess I gotta keep this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry to lose it on that